So, now we get into the second Thor film. As many say, the worst of the bunch before Love and Thunder came out. But to me, honestly, I've always enjoyed this one. I've always actually liked it more than the first Thor film. I mentioned that in when we reacted to the first trailer. So this one always just hit me better than the first. I think it was more Thor. Built the story a bit more, and it just overall just felt better as a Thor film to me personally. So let's get right into it.
After all this time.
Say this was like a darker film though, that's for sure.
Why?
First one I think was like more of a happier
I
film.
need your help. But I wish I could trust you. If you did, you'd be the fool I always took you for.
Some believe that before the universe, there was nothing.
Loki never died, eh?
There was darkness, and it has survived.
What's gonna happen?
Man, I haven't watched this one in ages.
For you.
Something about this trailer, it's like hitting me so well. I'm like, whoa, this is so good.
Known only to one.
You must be truly desperate to come to me for help.
If we do nothing, they will destroy us. You even think about betraying him.
And I'll kill you. That was from New York.
I like her.
Thor, your bravery will not ease your pain. Your family, your world will be extinguished.
We're running out of time.
The very fabric of reality can be torn apart.
I'll find a way to save us all.
The opening scene, oh man, I remember this.
All yours.
Spoiler.
Anyone else?
Well, there we have it. That was good. That was good. I kind of remember this now, because this was actually been a long time. Even though I enjoy this one, it has been a very, very long time since I watched this. I watched all the movies right before Infinity came out and Endgame, so I caught up. But then since then, I haven't actually watched all of these. So going back to these trailers, it actually just feels like, wow, this was the MCU. You know, like they were going for it. They were trying these stories and all without all the hoopla of the woke and all that messaging and this and that. Just stuck to it. Even when it didn't work, it still works. For me, though, this one always worked. I do think it added a lot more to the character of Thor, especially with Loki, that ending. Again, Loki never dies and all, but it was still good. It was the way they ended it. It was like, okay, where is this going to go? And so I like that. Again, the Jane and Thor story was like, okay, she was much more part of this. And I think that also kind of annoyed a lot of people. But to me, it worked. Yeah, it's like she's more like the human kind of story, and he's like this titan, this this alien, like this super powerful being. So it annoyed a lot of folks. But to me, the way they handled it, it worked. It worked, and the whole aspect of like the stones and how like you saw some of that stuff in this, and kind of was like, okay, what might be happening? And there was, I think, from what I remember, there was also some hints of Infinity Stone in this one, and then there was the whole scene in like Age of Ultron, when he goes to that thing, the Tang thing, and he has this vision. So they were like a setup. They were really setting it up, even though sometimes it felt like some story aspects of this, as you know, in this Thor and like Thor and Ultron, they were like out of place. Now you look at it like, whoa, this worked. So you can tell like they had a vision. So even though I think for many people, I understand why this film was like, oh, it was just another bad guy, which it was. The bad guy was kind of like, okay, they did better with Infinity War, Ragnarok, or some of the other films, Endgame and Winter Soldier, Civil War. Like a lot of their bad guys was better, and then there were also a lot of films where it was like, they were just there being the bad guy, nothing to them, and that's it. But overall, as a movie, though, now you look back to it, you're like, yeah, that works. It works, and what they were trying to do with the character of Thor, and where the MCU was going, and what they needed to do, it worked. Still had a vision. I still had a vision of what they want to do with the characters and Jane and all. Think, yeah, eventually they were like, oh, people are just not buying it, so they just let that character go until they brought her back for Love and Thunder. But I wish maybe they did something that they can, stick to that story, that took the live interested during Ragnarok and the other films. I wish they stick to it and make it work somehow. Other than that, though, still a really good film. Maybe not great or like excellent, but still a really, really good, really good film. Almost great. If that makes any sense. Like 7.58 if you want to put a rating to it. So that's kind of my take on this. What do you remember from this one? Did you really hate that much, or did you eventually end up liking it? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you all soon. Until then, ta-da. Ake out.